Is that better? All right. Thank you everybody so much for joining us tonight. I love seeing this turnout. Each month that we do this crowd keeps growing and growing, and I just want to say thank you so much for your support of this community as it grows. Who's here for the first time tonight? Awesome. If it's not your first time, make sure you make those people feel welcome. And to get started, we're going to have Colin Herdman come up here and share more about his project, Wrapped AI. Give it up for Colin.
All right, my time has started. You're going to give me like a 5-minute-ish, 4-minute-ish nod, or you can just kick me off. Hello, everybody. My name is Colin Herdman. I'm one of the co-founders of Wrapped, W-R-A-P-P-T, Wrapped, right? Yeah, Wrapped.ai. So really quick, show of hands here. How many of you have built a custom GPT? All right. How many of you have built it for work? How many of you did it where it was internal facing? And how about external facing for prospects or customers? A few. And how many of you have actually monetized it? Like you're making money from it? All right, cool. So I'm going to start with a quick story. As a co-founder, I have two other co-founders, Zach and Josh. We have a company called Monkey Island Ventures that we started back in 2007. We've all known each other since we were about 5 years old, and Monkey Island's named after a park we used to play when we were kids. So we have a couple of service-based businesses, one a digital marketing company and a software development company. Well, I had kicked off a startup productized service early last year called Rainmaker, where I'm automating network leads and sales using LinkedIn. And I've grown that pretty well, and I have customers, and one of the things I'm doing is automating out messages for them in a very non-salesy, relationship-building way. And I was getting messages from them that just sucked. They were just all salesy, they were long, they were just not what anybody wants to see on LinkedIn. And I kept having to be the one telling them, don't do that, do this instead. Finally, I just made a custom GPT for Rainmaker around messages, where I would literally walk them through the whole process. And at the end of that GPT experience, they would then be able to give me messages that I would then use in their account, okay? So I was talking with Zach about it, and I created two other GPTs around LinkedIn, one for creating LinkedIn polls and the other for LinkedIn live streams, okay? So I have these three GPTs, and my clients are using them, but I'm sending them just these GPT links. And Zach's like, you know what, we should just like wrap these in software, and then you can give me your clients. And I'm like, cool, I bet other people want that too. So that's the idea of Wrapped.ai. Really, what it is, it's a SaaS platform. We connect to OpenAI. We're using right now the Hive Mini model. But what it allows anybody to do is to go to Wrapped.ai, and you create an account, and then you create a workspace. So my workspace is rainmaker.wrapped.ai. And then I can create my GPTs, and you can create the GPTs in Wrapped, or you can copy the instructions over and just paste it. But then you can bring your branding on there, your logo, your colors. You can use a custom domain. The GPTs, you can decide whether you want them to be free or whether you want them to be paid. And they could both live in there where maybe two are free and then one is paid, right? And then you, as the owner, get to choose what you want to charge. So we use Stripe Connect, and you get to decide what you want to charge, and then Wrapped, you pay a monthly fee, SaaS, and then we take a percentage of whatever revenue you generate from the GPTs that your customers are paying for. But for us, it's just a way to allow builders of GPTs to do it in a variety of ways. So, one of our clients are going to do an AI conference tomorrow. AI for the rest of us. I don't know if anybody else is going to that tomorrow, but it's at the Vikings headquarters. They're using Wrapped to allow people to find out about the agenda and the speakers and the parking and the venue and all of that. I have another client, they're using it for all of their internal HR, so then their employees log in and they know who's using the product. So that's the other benefit of using Wrapped, is you get to see who's created accounts, you get to see which GPTs are being used the most. Again, like I said, you can decide which ones you want to charge for. So that whole analytics part, I think, is a big piece too. It's not a black hole as it pertains to your custom GPTs. So that's what Wrapped is. So I'm happy to take some questions. I think we have a minute or two for
Let's
that.
do a couple questions.
Yeah,
Does that work for Gemini Gems as well?
what is it?
Does that same system work for the AI stuff? Because they have Gems. So the university, they have Gems, but they can't share them right now.
Hmm.
And it would be really cool to kind of put wrapper around something at the website or something with the course.
No, it's a great question. We haven't had that. I mean, again, the only model we're using is 5 Mini, but we want to open it up to other models there as well as other, AI platforms and let people choose what they want to use.
All right, well, thank you, Colin.
Oh, we got one more?
Hey, Colin,
How many chats
read the question back.
for a chat GPT? Is it unlimited back and forth for once you deploy it?
Yeah, it's unlimited. There's tokens, so if you start reaching kind of your limit, you'll get a warning that you're getting up there. But yeah, with each level we have, it allows you to get X amount of tokens as just part of that package. So, yeah.
What challenge are you facing that you're looking to overcome?
More than anything is probably just awareness. I mean, I think that's probably, again, one of my companies is a software development company, so I think from the tech side we haven't covered. So more than anything, I think it's just getting the word out. That's why I'm doing events like this, and thank you, Jake, for putting these on. But I think, yeah, that more than anything, and we're still kind of like a quote-unquote beta. So I would love people to use it and give feedback. It wouldn't cost you anything, and hopefully you get some value. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Colin is super plugged into the local entrepreneur scene, so if you want to learn more about that or do some good networking, Colin is definitely your guy.
And Minnesota blockchain too, so, yeah.
All right. By the way, tonight is our first inaugural live stream tonight. Ben, why don't you pan to the crowd and show everybody watching tonight what they're missing out on.
Come on, let's give them some more.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, being that it's live stream, the next speakers, when there's a question, just read the question back to the mic so the people at home can understand what the question is. All right, up next, it's my pleasure to introduce Zin Kant. Zin Kant is a really ambitious St. Thomas student, and he is looking to launch the inaugural AI club at St. Thomas and also give his perspective about AI as being a student there. So welcome, Zin.
Thank you, Jacob, for the introduction. Hi everyone, my name is Sid. I'm a student at St. Thomas, and I just wanted to quickly talk about what I'm doing at St. Thomas, right? So, before I start, how many of you guys here are optimistic about AI's impact in your life in the long run? Please, by the show of hands. That's awesome. So, interestingly, a survey done at St. Thomas, we found out that there's a lot of polarization among students where like one group of students are really against the use of AI and the other group are like really for the use of AI. And we kind of see this trend among professors as well, where some professors are like, if you use AI, then you fail the class. If you don't, where some professors are like, hey, you should use AI to learn more about the subject or whatever. So, which is why like I believe that there's like this polarization happening among the AI crowd, where people who are outside the industry are looking at the field, and some people are saying, oh, these people are evil, like look at the environmental impact that it's having, or all these things that are these negative impacts. And some people are also very hyped up about where this is going to change the world, or this is going to do so many things, right? So I believe that there has to be a space where we can have conversations about just like from different sides to prevent polarization, because both have to have a mutual understanding of the other side. So through St. Thomas has a new initiative called AI for Common Good, where we talk about, where we have just 10 different modules where we have debates, where we talk about latest advancements in the field, where we invite speakers and just industry professionals, and to talk about, just to have more conversation. And through AI Club, we're going to be hosting more of that. And I'm just trying to let people know about what's going on. And if you're interested, please find me later and give me your email, and I'll reach out if there are any more events, that we're hosting, and feel free to join us to learn more and have more conversations about this. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. But thank you, Jacob, for having this, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
All right, last but not least, we have a very talented serial entrepreneur who started out at quite a young age. His name is Ben Sharp. Currently, he's CEO and founder of Twin Cities Auctions, which is a platform to be able to trade automobiles. And he's going to talk to us about how he's been leveraging AI and LLMs in his platform, especially it being a legacy platform and introducing new technologies to it. So welcome, Ben.
So, who here has bought a car before? Just so that's And how many people have had like a bad experience?
Yep.
The few of us. Well, you probably know that like when you're buying a vehicle, you and the seller are at odds with one another. One of you has significantly more information than the other one. At all times, the seller almost always holds more information about the car, the history, what's wrong with it. You know, they might forget to maybe mention that, hey, the heater doesn't work in the winter. Or, oh, the mechanic just told me that the transmission's going to go out, and that's why I'm selling it. And that's why we're creating free market space. The problem is even worse for cars under $10,000. The reason is because when you're buying a vehicle under $10,000, the main consideration is the condition of the vehicle. Because you're really just looking for a vehicle that goes from A to B. And so that's what we're building, the marketplace for vehicles under $10,000. So every vehicle that we do, it comes with a third-party unbiased inspection, and every single one has a video proof of the condition. So far, we've sold over 10,000 vehicles on the platform. In Minnesota, we've become one of the largest sellers of vehicles in the entire state. And what we're doing is we're moving that seller controlling the narrative and bringing buyers the trust and transparency that they need when they're purchasing these kind of vehicles. So now what we're all here for is how are we leveraging AI? So I just made a little bit of a list of some of the things that we're doing today that have really been super impactful. But today, as a CEO, 90% of my time is spent just sitting in front of ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and all day prompting it for different things in different departments. Some of the examples. So some of the things I'm doing with it include transcribing meetings, action items, kind of the basic stuff. But what I've been able to do is I've started connecting things like Claude, Cursor, through the MCP into things like our accounting suite. And I've started leveraging it as our CFO, where I'm prompting it to find things like, what I've been able to do is I've been able to find different accounting discrepancies, rebuild our entire chart of accounts, and so on and so forth, just from the interface itself. One thing that's made a huge difference is we've built thousands of blogs on hundreds of different topics in the automotive industry, and that's generated millions of impressions on Google and also on ChatGPT and different AI search engines. And thousands of clicks from different people around the state. So one of the things I've done include, I've used things like 11 Labs and Veo 3, and what we've done is we've created videos showing like a little bit about us that was completely AI generated, and that cut our cost per click by 75%. So it made a huge material difference to the company. In addition to that, we've actually been able to train our employees who were non-technical in order to teach them how to build different agents that they've been able to then incorporate into things like, so the DMV is very archaic and they don't have any APIs. And so what our front office manager did was she actually created an agent that would then click on the screen every single button that the DMV required for her. And that doesn't sound like very much, but every single vehicle would take 15 minutes to do. And when you're selling thousands of vehicles a year, that's thousands of dollars a year. So just little things like that. We also use it for like the basic stuff like writing PRDs, writing code, debugging code, so on and so forth. But the future of remarket space, it includes what we're going to be doing is creating automated damage detection for vehicles. So for example, if you take pictures of a vehicle, circling every single scratch, damage, dent, ding, so that the buyer is not stuck searching for it. Detecting abnormal engine noises, flagging those based on tons of recordings of engines. And the other thing that I'm most excited for is an AI chat quoting tool. So basically, when you're looking at a vehicle and there's problems, we understand that the buyer's main concern is how much these things cost. And what we're planning to do is take that information and use AI in order to give people accurate quotes of what these types of vehicles, or what these types of repairs would cost for them. So just in closing, we don't sell AI, we sell cars, but we're using AI, and that's how we're winning.
Any questions for Ben? One question back there, and right here.
Sure. So what are you using for your browser use? Are you using a browser use or are you using like OpenAI operator?
Oh, for the DMB piece?
Yeah.
What we did was we used ChatGPT Agent, the newest one. That didn't work so great because every single time you have to keep clicking like continue, and it kind of ruins it unless you're just doing like other things at the same time. What we're doing is we're experimenting more with Claude, and there's a few other products in the market that kind of solve that issue. But that's what we've tried so far. We don't have a perfect solution for it yet, but it's kind of like 50% there, and but 50% is not good enough in this case because it still requires a lot of intervention. So.
How do you think about right now you're using a lot of the, like the low-level core models, like using a lot of things like that. How do you think about using, maybe in a year or two in the future when products start to get much better at that? We've got sales like trying to make sure that for your bookkeeping, your AI bookkeeping, CFO needs, do you think about using, like, still can you build your own these pieces or like using other products?
I've definitely thought about it. We use some other products, and we find there's always like a limitation. And so I kind of like connecting it just through like generic MCP using like Cursor or something. It's much more customizable. You can control the instructions you have in it, record things. And in my experience, that's been a lot better. I'm a little bit technical, but I guess for other people, sometimes it might be better to have like a built-in product. But just my opinion.
Last question right here.
Yeah, I was wondering, you had talked about cataloging the sounds of engine noises. You're using AI for this.
That's just something on the roadmap, but it wouldn't be like generative AI, but like standard machine learning.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's nice to mix the flavors of AI its own into its own thing. And I was just fascinated by that because you've got machine learning. You're applying it to the cause of. I mean, yeah, it's just you're integrating both flavors, which you can really get some oomph out of that. I'm just really impressed.
Thank you.
All right, give it for Ben, everybody. Thank you, Ben. Well, folks, that concludes all the speakers for tonight. Just a couple things. Startup Week is coming up, and I know that there are individuals here who applied to be a speaker at Startup Week. If so, could you please raise your hand? I'd like, if you're interested, go and meet these individuals, see what they're going to be speaking about. And if you are one of those individuals, send me the link to your Communifor so I can post that for the rest of the audience and the meetup group so we can vote. You have to vote for a specific talk, and the most votes win. So please, if you're interested in hearing from one of these individuals during Startup Week, make sure you give them their vote. That would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you everybody on the live stream. Really appreciate that. You'll see next to the name tags, there's a QR code to sign up to speak. And we want to hear from you. Everybody here would love to hear about different perspectives from AI, whether it's business oriented, whether it's coming from the trades, whether it's super technical. We want to hear from you, and that's what makes Minnesota really special, I believe, is that there's a lot of really talented people from all sorts of backgrounds here that recognize that this is some revolutionary technology and it can be applied all sorts of different ways. And that's what this is all about, getting all those people in the same room to be able to meet business side, technical side, share ideas. So please continue to do so. And thanks again so much for coming out. I really appreciate the turnout. And we'll see you next month, third Monday here at Headfly Brewery. And looking forward to seeing you again. And sign up to speak. Thank you.